Yo, yo, yo. Good, folkers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Tyrant's Bane. Welcome to the definition of animal, where today on June 24th, 2021, I'm going to talk about Joey B. All right. More specifically, I'm going to talk about how Joey B gave us a tip on how one would go about dealing with a tyrannical government. All right. He said that we would need F-16s and Nukes to deal with a tyrannical government. We would need F-16 fighter jets and a nuke. Okay. Now, we all know Joey B, right? Joey B, our president, right? Joey B, Joe Biden. We all know Joey B hates our rights to keep and bear arms. Know that. We know that when we are under attack, Joey B wants us to go outside with a shotgun and fire twice in the air, right? That's what he wants us to do. He wants us to fire twice in the air with a shotgun. That's how he wants us to deal with any threat we may face as a people, because he hates the fact that people in this country that aren't part of the government have their right to keep and bear arms, even though it's being trampled on right now, right? It's being trampled on. Our right to keep and bear arms is being trampled on at every turn. You got states out there that are doing, they're doing the right thing. They're doing sanctuary this, sanctuary that. It shouldn't have to be that way. It shouldn't have to come to that. All this Supreme Court, this, that, and the third, all these court fights and all this other shit, spending money on this, like this, none of this should be necessary. It's very clear in the Constitution. Anybody that would move to put any gun control legislation into law, right, should be, we're talking about legislators because they make the laws, right? Congressmen, senators. They should be arrested immediately, even if they attempt to introduce gun control legislation, because guess why? It's right there in the Constitution. It's in the U.S. Code, right? 18 U.S. Code 241. Conspiracy to deprive people of their rights. In a nutshell, that's what it says. Anybody that would attempt or conspire to violate people's rights can be placed in prison or in jail, for up to a year. And if there is a kidnapping as a result of that conspiracy, guess what? They can get up to life in prison and even execution. The fact that we have 20,000 gun control laws on the books right now lets us know that at least 20,000 times, at least in the history of this country, there should have been 20,000 executions of legislators, police officers, and all this, that, and the third. And I'm just based on the law, YouTube. I'm not calling for the execution of senators and Congress people and police officers. I'm talking about 18 U.S. Code 242, right? 18 U.S. Code 241, conspiracy to deprive the rights of an individual. Every time they create a law that takes a right away, right? That takes your rights away, they need to go to jail. That's point blank in the period. The job of the Congress and the Senate is not to create laws that deprive us of our rights. That's not their job, right? There's only a few laws that are needed in this country. There's only a few laws, common sense laws, right? But anyway, F-16s, nukes. Well, I'll tell you what, based on my, what people might want to call God-given right, Allah-given right, universe-given right, natural-born right, whatever you want to call it, based on that, because you pointed out to us that the United States government in the military has nukes and F-16s, guess what? Guess what? Because it's because of the possibility that our government can become tyrannical and use that military to turn on their people. Guess what? We should be able to have those F-16s access to that. Yeah. Because just like China has nukes, Russia has nukes, right? China has nukes, Russia has nukes, North Korea has nukes, South Korea has nukes, England has nukes. All these other countries have nukes. And because all those other countries have nukes, they really don't fuck with each other on too much of a level, right? They participate in these proxy wars that go on in the Middle East, right? Right now, that's where all the proxy wars are cracking. In the Middle East, North Africa, those different types of places. Proxy wars, they'll engage in proxy wars, but they won't engage directly in the wars with each other right now because of what? Anybody can anybody tell me? Mutually assured destruction, right? Mutually assured destruction is kind of like a silent agreement between all these countries, right? Because if you shoot your nuke at me, I'll shoot my nuke at you. And then everybody's shooting their nukes off. And guess what happens? They say 100 nukes go off, 100 nuclear warheads. That's all it takes to destroy this, to end the world, right? Right now, Russia has the most nukes. They have over 1,300 nukes or something like that. I think the U.S. has like 1,100. China has 300 or 400. So we have well over the amount of nukes needed to destroy the world, right? So it kind of keeps everybody in check to a degree. All these superpowers that have the capabilities to create nukes and have nukes, like Iran as well, we know, okay, we're not going to really engage. We're going to posture, we're going to saber rattle, all this other shit. But we know if we end up being about that life, then we best know we about to end that life. I'm talking about life on the planet as far as we know it. So guess what we need with our government? Every people that has a government in place ruling over them or representing them need to have that same level of mutually assured destruction. Yeah, hell yeah. We need to have that. So, everybody's under this impression, the military, they fight for us, they fight to protect our freedoms and all this, that, and third. That's what they're supposed to do, right? That's what they're supposed to do. But we know what they've been doing, right? Since World War II. And I would even argue that World War II was not necessarily about protecting, the homeland, even though the Pearl Harbor thing happened, right? Yeah. Right. Pearl Harbor happened. Boom, we had to retaliate. Boom, dragged us into World War II. Okay, that might have been, that might have been something. But we know that our military not really working for us right now. They all over the place. They're over here creating an empire. They're building an empire. They're building an empire for the bankers. So they work for the bankers. I don't know if you guys have heard of Smedley Butler, right? He was a Marine back in the early 1900s that, was in the military for decades. And he talked about how he was used, right? Him and his troops were used by the bankers to, basically rape and pillage multiple countries on 4 different continents. So we know what's up. We know what's going on with the military industrial complex. We know that they're not really for us right now. Even though I do believe that there will be such a level of hesitation. Like if they were like, okay, they told U.S. troops, all right, you guys got to go into town A or town B, Los Angeles, New York, whatever. There's a heavy resistance out there. They're talking about we're tyrants and we're oppressing them. And then, but we want you to go over there and, I want you to commit war on your own people. Send ground troops in to basically go to war against their own people. There'll be a lot of hesitation. I believe so. I believe that it'll be a lot more difficult for them to achieve that than not, right? It'll be a lot more difficult because U.S. troops are not brainwashed, right? We haven't been brainwashed to turn against our own people, right? We're not even trained to deal with U.S. civilians. That's not how we're trained. We're trained to deal with foreign people, right? So, especially in terms of we were trained in riot control and all that other shit, but that was in terms of going into foreign lands, foreign countries, and dealing with protests and riots and all that based on our occupancy of those countries, right? Riots against that, protests against that, but not against our own people. So Joe Biden would like you to think, right, in his own slick ass way. Creepy Joey B would like you to think, oh, shit, we could send some F-16s to Oklahoma. We could just drop a nuke in New York. Y'all would need that to deal with us. Joey B, I think you got life fucked up. We don't need F-16s and nukes to deal with a tyrannical government. We don't need that, especially a tyrannical government that is based in a country that we're citizens of, right? No, he got life fucked up. I think he's a little more stupid than he lets on. I don't know if that was like a slip up. I don't know if he was supposed to say that, but you know what it is. No, we wouldn't need that, but we should have that, right? We should have access to that. There should be civilians, militias, or if you want to call them that, right? Because I feel like every individual, as cliche as it might sound, and just like Colion Noir said, we are the militia. Each individual is a militia. Each individual has to be able to fight to defend their land, their country, from whatever sphere of influence they got, right? So, yeah, I should be able to have access to a F-16 and a nuke. Now, I don't want a nuke. Just so y'all know, I don't want. We should not have that. That's one thing that we should not have, because it's much too dangerous to possess something like that and to have at our disposal to just toss around, right? I don't know what possessed people to want to create nukes. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, what are y'all thinking? What were they thinking, man? I mean, Einstein helped come up with that shit, right? The atomic bomb, right? Oh, and how much did he regret having even contributed in what small way he did to creating the atomic bomb that leveled Hiroshima in another country? I forgot what the name of the country is. But you have to understand the level of devastation. Joey B is posturing, okay? Joey B is saber rattling his own fucking citizens, if you want to call them that, his own people. Oh, you think you could take on the U.S. government? You would need an F-16 and a nuke. Bullshit, Joe. And what is this bullshit he likes to say? It wasn't meant for everybody to be able to own a gun and every time. Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. Motherfuckers had cannons. Hell, merchants, right? What they calling people? They had cannons on their ships to defend themselves against pirates and whoever else. Yes, it was meant for every individual to own whatever piece of weaponry he wanted to fucking own. That's what the Second Amendment is about. It doesn't say you have the right, the right of the people shall keep, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed unless it's an F-16 or unless it's a machine gun or unless it's a claymore mine or unless it's a grenade. It doesn't say none of that shit. It says the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, whether it be a fucking, whether it be a Bowie knife, a motherfucking, what else I got in here? You know, I keep shit up in here. You know what I mean? Now, I shouldn't have to go through this much trouble to get to it. Whether it be one of these, whatever. Like, I have the right to keep and bear that shit. So, thank you for pointing out, Joe, that we need to talk about how we can get us a hold of some F-16s. How we can get a hold and how we should have the right to own, you know, a fucking grenade launcher, right? Why not? I know in some states you can own that. You got to go through certain changes, right? You can own a machine gun. You got to go through certain changes. There's a bunch of red tape. You got to pay $200 and all this other bullshit. But it shouldn't be like that. That's an infringement. Straight up and down, that's an infringement. And, you know, he's trying to bust certain states' balls, right, for doing the sanctuary thing, right? He's trying to go after them for the, you know, using the supremacy clause of the Constitution. The supremacy clause, which basically says that if there is a law at conflict, if there's a state law that conflicts with a federal law, then that federal law has supremacy or supersedes that state law or that local law. Well, that is unless the federal law is unconstitutional, right? Every piece of gun control legislation is unconstitutional. So therefore, your supremacy clause, you could take that and shove it up your ass because it don't apply. Understand that. And you still have the 10th Amendment, right? And that's why I don't really like to rest on my laurels because of the Constitution, because there's some conflicting bullshit in the Constitution itself, right? It said, you know, the 10th Amendment, right, about state rights. State rights. Any power or any power not reserved to the federal government is reserved to the states or the people. Basically, the people. The people should be controlling the individual states, and that should be it. There should be no federal blanket, no federal control, no central government overruling every other state. That's bullshit. Because different states have different needs, right? And that's why these states have different laws, right? Even though laws are bullshit. Every state has different needs and cannot be, you can't represent, first of all, you can't represent every individual, let alone every state, equally. It just can't happen. That's why the individual has the right, like every individual has different needs. You can't meet the needs of every individual. That's why government doesn't work. That's why government rule does not work, right? And that's why representation cannot work on too large of a scale. It can work on a smaller scale, right? For a group of like-minded people. You know, you have somebody that's like a figurehead or an elder that has the best interest of the community in mind, and they're not out there to advance their own power and advance their own, you know, agenda, right? They can't, because they don't have the power to rule over their community. They just represent the needs of their community, whether it involves trade, conflict, you know, something, you know, a dispute between different communities. That's what representation really is. So the government of the United States, even though people want to say, oh, it's the best government, oh, this is the best country. Oh, you know, as far as oppressive countries go, yeah, it's the best oppressive country in the world. Okay. Touche. You got it. It's the best tyrannical government in the world. Okay. Yeah. Let's look at it like that. But it's still a tyrannical government. Right? It still infringes on your freedoms, steps on your freedoms. And then in response to you saying, you know, I want to be able to defend myself against that tyrannical government, a clown-ass president tells you, yeah, you'll need an F-16 and a nuke. This is how they treat their people. If you're not on board with them, extorting you, right? If you're not on board with them extorting you at every turn, jailing you for stupid shit, for not, following government edicts, if you're not okay with them, with the police doing whatever they want, doing whatever they want with impunity, with their little qualified immunity, if you have a problem with our government sending army overseas to other countries before looking out for the needs of the people right here in this country, if we have a problem with that, then they want to tell us that, man, well, if you want to deal with it in a real way, you better get you a nuke and some F-16 and an F-16. Nah. Nope. But you know what? So many people living in fear in this country right now and in the world. They might have sent a shiver down a lot of people's spines, but not mine. And not many of you, especially those that support me and that rock with your boy. I know y'all ain't going for that. I know y'all ain't gonna sit up here and be frightened of Joey B's threats of nukes and F-16s. Imagine how the media would have responded if Donald Trump said that same shit. Imagine if Donald Trump said, hey, if you want to go against a tyrannical government, you better have F-16s and some nukes. And we'll blow your ass right out of the sky. Imagine if he said that shit. It'd be a media shitstorm. But see, that's part of the game, right? That's part of the game. That's part of the, that's part of the psychological war games they're playing on us right now. It's psychological warfare. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously people are going to point that out. Oh, well, if Trump would have said that, like they always do. Oh, well, if Trump said that, then, they would have gave Trump a hard time, this, that, and the third. And that continues to validate the left-right paradigm lie. That continues to keep them cemented in that left-right paradigm lie. And they go for that shit. They fall for the kabuki theater. They willingly or unwillingly participate in it. And that's why we stuck in this cycle, right? That's why we stuck in this cycle. That's why nothing changes from voting, from campaign, or what they call that, from voting cycle to voting cycle. Nothing changes, right? The name of the players change, but the rules stay the same. The board stays the same. The pieces on the board stay the same, right? The hands that move the pieces stay the same. It's just you have a different face on them pieces, right? On the pawn, on the rook. They all, it stays the same. It's the same board. It's the same rules. It's the same moves you can make. You're still restricted. There's only so much you can do once you become part of that government system, right? That's why I was trying to tell, Melee all day. You can try to change the system from within, but it's too entrenched. It's too established to change it from within. Right? You can't vote your way out of tyranny. It don't work like that. That's why it's tyranny. If voting worked for tyranny, then Haiti wouldn't have had a revolution, right? Nat Turner wouldn't have started a revolt. If voting was a solution, right? Oh, let's go through the system. Let's go through the oppressive system's rules and regulations. Let's go through their shit. Let's use their shit to get free for them. Let's use our oppressors' rules to get. Hell, it don't work like that, right? It don't work like that. It don't matter how many people you get to vote on one thing. It's still the only This is what you have to understand about voting. You only get to vote on the shit that they put in front of you, right? That's it. The candidates for president, right? Who even puts the people in front of you? Who chose Trump and Hillary Clinton? Who chose Obama and Mitt Romney? Who chose Obama and John McClain, whatever the hell his name is, John McCain? Who chose those people? Did y'all choose them? Did we choose them? No, they went through this fucking Republican, the fucking delegate process. Delegates chose them, and then you get to choose. Yeah, my phone overheated. Anyway, man. Am I back, you guys? Am I back? Give me the, give me the Romeo Lima Charlie if I'm here. Y'all can see me. James Millage, what's up? What's up? Yeah. Yeah, they said my phone overheated. Whatever. This shit happens, man. But y'all get what I'm saying, right? Joe Biden wants you to think that there's nothing we could do if the government went tyrannical. Well, it's already tyrannical, right? The government has been tyrannical for a long time, man. for centuries, right? But they want you to think that, oh, there's no hope. We can't do anything. If that was true, why y'all trying to take our shit? Why are you trying to take our firearms away? If we need F-16s and if we just need F-16s, if we need F-16s and nukes, what y'all worried about? Oh, the school shootings, right? Oh, right. Oh, the mass shootings, right? Right. Gotcha. Okay. Interesting. I call bullshit. The bottom line is this. Our government does not want us to be empowered. They want us to be in fear of everything. They want us to step outside and be afraid of the sky falling. That's what they want. They want us to think that at every turn we can run into an individual with an AR-15 that's going to kill about 30 of us, right? That's what they want you to think. They want you to step outside and think that, oh no, there's an invisible virus floating around that could take me out. I got to go get my hokey pokey. Everything is about fear, right? Everything is about fear. Instilling fear in you. That's how they maintain their control. That's how they control you. That's how they maintain their control. That's how they maintain their death grip on you. Spreading fear, spreading lies. Right? The fear has to come with the lie. They want you to be very afraid. They want you to react in fear, right? They want you to be, they want the presence of danger to be all around you, all encompassing all the time. Fear of starvation, fear of inflation, fear of, fear of a crash, market crash, fear of war with China, fear of another Modelo 19 type thing, fear of everything. They want you to be afraid of everything. Firearms, yeah. Let's see. XP Expert Remix. What was he in there talking about? Wait, what? Mouse got Pino locked up. What a clown. James Rutherford said, "Not my president." That's what's up. Brian Scott said, of course. Why don't they engage one another, small arms fire, like everyone else? Why do they need nuke the world? Because it's all about power, man. Control and power. Miss Ray Moody was good. J2 Fly said I was on Games the other night. Professional demo today. Oh, you did a professional demo? J2 Fly TV? Man, Shotgun said, man, why do these superpowers need nukes? For power. Just power and control. Shouting at Cloud's superiority, right? To be the supreme ruler of the world. Do you remember when the government blew up Winnebago on the streets of downtown? I remember that, yeah. I remember that. Whatever came of that? Oh, it was some guy, right? They said it was some guy. We need to privatize police. We don't need government police. I agree, 100%. Shouting at clouds, and they wouldn't be police at that point. They'd be private security forces. No nonsense. Stuckey was good. Nicolette Moore was going on. James Miller said, by the way, watching a video from Fox News earlier, they was talking about a campaign launched by a group of people protecting Leo in Champaign County, Illinois. And I'm like, bro, why not set up Champaign for firearms? What? These fools forgot about Chicago and the rest of the Illinois gun restrictions. Like they are so focused on backing the blue. Yeah, the clowns, man. No, don't worry about it. Shot killings. Anyway, man, that's all I got for now, man. Looks like we need to get a hold of us some F-16s, right? I mean, we got to be ready for anything, right? We got to be ready for anything, including a tyrannical government, including, whatever, including maybe if China decides to invade or something like that, we got to be ready for anything, right? So I say, okay, Joey B, how about us civilians see about getting us some F-16s? How about that? Matter of fact, since you guys like to donate military hardware to the police, how about y'all start sending something our way? Make it fair. You guys believe in equity, right? You want equality and equity and all that shit? Why don't you send us what you send the police? All that surplus. Send it our way. We can use it too. Anyway, much love you guys. Like, share, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Let's keep marching forward toward freedom, people. Let's not be afraid of Joey B's saber rattling. I mean, next time he does it, he might end up breaking his fucking wrist. He's so goddamn old and frail. He needs to knock it off. Anyway, holla at y'all later. Much love. Peace out.